This program is brought to you by Express Employment Professionals, respecting people, impacting business, located in Durango, serving the Four Corners area.
If you've decided to adopt a dog, whether it's a purebred puppy or an older rescue dog, developing a positive and humane training regimen will be important if you want to share a loving, happy, and safe relationship with your pet. Durango TV News Director Deborah Uroda visited with Susan Baines, founder of Ohm Dog Training and Boarding, to glean a few tips for dog owners.
Susan Baines, founder of Ohm Dog Training, says the key to a successful relationship with a canine companion is to understand the world from a dog's perspective rather than trying to force your dog to behave in a world that makes sense to you. Baines practices humane training techniques and literally teaches humans how to understand their dogs and how to train them.
The first thing is to know that it's a long game, okay? So when you first bring that dog home, just recognize that that dog has been through potentially a lot of very intense and potentially traumatic experiences that you won't ever really know, but your job is to begin to bond with that dog.
Baines believes positive reinforcement works best. Dogs are naturally fearful, so punishment-oriented training just creates a fearful, anxiety-ridden dog.
You don't want to use aversive methods when you're training your dog. Aversive means punishing. You don't want to put anything on your dog that's going to make your dog uncomfortable, and certainly not while you're training. You want your dog to be as calm as possible while you're training, because a calm mind learns. Same with children. Stressed children don't learn well. Stressed dogs really don't learn at all. Once a dog is home, it's really not, you can't really start training too soon, but you don't want to start with obedience training. You want to start with bonding. You want to start with eye contact. You want to start with using the dog's name in very short, easy to remember, repetitive cueing sentences. So I would say, "Hi, Ari, how are you?" When I was just wanting him to know his name, because you have to get your dogs used to their name. So you would say his name all the time, and then something short after that. You can start to build vocabulary. It doesn't always have to be a cue asking them to do something. I use just sentences. "Hi, how are you? How are you?" Just being friendly. And you always want to keep your voice down. And dogs tend to respond well with training. You want to use an up voice, like where you're excited, and kind of like what you would with a child. It's the same. But when you're calling them to you, you definitely want to use an excited voice, an enthusiastic voice, not yelling, not raising your voice, and especially not in the first few weeks of bringing home a new dog. It can be frustrating when they're behaving in ways that we don't understand, or they seem out of control, and humans tend to yell or raise their voices or use harsh words like no. And if you do that, that's fine. You just want to make sure you come around on the other side with a calm voice, and then the name, and then something else like a sit. I always want to go back to a sit, because when dogs sit for longer than 5 to 10 seconds, their nervous systems actually begin to calm down, and the working part of their brains gets turned on, and then they're ready to be given something to do.
Consistency also is key when you're training your dog, no matter where you are. And finally, a good dog is a tired dog, and a tired dog is a calm dog. So Baines prescribes plenty of exercise for her clients and their pets.
If you work all day and you have a dog at home that seems anxious and, just constantly moving and isn't settling down, probably needs more exercise. And a good program for that is to kind of mix it up, do some daycare, doggy daycare a couple times a week. Make sure you're walking in the morning, a good long, minimum of 45 minutes for a working breed. That means anything over 20 pounds. Go out on a walk, just make sure you take stuff with you so that you're able to train your dog wherever you are. And that's really the trick to it. It's about human mindfulness. It's about remembering you're going out with your dog and you really don't like it when they pull on the leash, so you have to remember to bring your treats and your harness and your 6-foot lead and maybe your 20-foot lead if you want to work on off-leash training, and you need to have your gear with you, and part of your gear is treats.
So if you're having trouble training your dog, you may want to consider getting yourself trained.
Most of my work is teaching humans how to train their dog. It's not about training the dog. Dogs have everything inside of them they already need to succeed. They've been doing it for a really, really, really long time. We have to know how to bring it out of them. A tired dog is a good dog. right? So the goal always is to get them tired, especially when they're puppies. Get them tired with exercise and play and training. Training will tire them out because they're having to use their brains and learn new things. So that combination of exercise, play, and training all the time, it's a bit much for a lot of people. That's why it's super important to be sure you're ready to take a dog into your house. And it is work. It's definitely a lot of work.
You can learn more about Susan Baines and her training philosophies on her Facebook page at Dog Training.